There's a player arriving at the Vikings minicamp with fire in his eyes and a desire to silence everyone. This cornerback was overlooked in the draft, but he's ready to surprise and earn a spot on the roster. The fans are already watching this potential gem. Click like, subscribe to the channel, and come see what's going on. Former cornerback from the University of Nebraska, Tommy Hill, is set to participate in the Vikings rookie minicamp as a tryout player. And let me tell you, this is a name you need to pay attention to. Normally, a tryout player doesn't attract much attention, but Hill's situation is far from typical. He was projected as a sixth-round pick before the draft and was generating buzz as a potential first-round selection heading into the 2024 college football season. This kind of talent doesn't go unnoticed, and it's fascinating to see how the Vikings are approaching this. Hill's journey has been anything but easy. He started his college career at Arizona State, but transferred to Nebraska after just one season. That's where he truly shined, recording 9 pass breakups and 4 interceptions in 2023, earning an impressive coverage grade of 87.1 from PFF. That's the kind of performance that gets people talking, and it certainly caught the attention of Heisman winner Travis Hunter during the NFL Combine. Hunter referred to Hill as one of the toughest corners he faced, which says a lot about his competitiveness and skill. Unfortunately, injuries have haunted Hill. He battled plantar fasciitis last season, which affected his performance and ultimately led to his dismissal. When you think about the potential he has, it's surprising that he wasn't drafted and didn't get signed as an undrafted free agent. He was ranked 175th on the Consensus Media Big Board, making him the 9th highest-rated player whose name wasn't called. Dane Brugler from The Athletic rated him as his CB22, giving him a 5th to 6th round grade. Now, with the Vikings not drafting a cornerback this year and only bringing in 2 undrafted free agents, Zamiah Vaughn from Utah and Keenan Garber from Kansas State, the door is wide open for Hill to make a good impression. If he can show up healthy at rookie minicamp, I wouldn't be surprised at all to see him earn a contract. There's something special about a player who feels overlooked and is determined to prove everyone wrong. Hill's quote, "They counted me out, that Siwi makes me go 10 times harder," resonates deeply. That mentality is exactly what the Vikings need. Hungry players who have that fire in their belly. It's not just about talent, it's about heart, and Hill has both in abundance. Now, let's talk about the implications here. If Hill can regain his form, he could be a game changer for the Vikings secondary. The team has struggled in recent years to find consistent performance in that area, and Hill's potential could help solidify a position that has often seemed like a weakness. Can you imagine the excitement around the Vikings if Hill emerges as a reliable starter? That could dramatically alter the trajectory of the defense and ultimately the team's chances for success. But I have to ask, do you think this was the best decision? Honestly, I'm torn. While I love the idea of taking a chance on a talented player with something to prove, I worry about the risk involved with his injury history. Is the risk worth it, or should the Vikings have sought more stability? The answer isn't obvious, and I want to hear your thoughts. And what about you? I want to hear your opinion in the comments. Are you as excited as I am about the possibility of Tommy Hill moving from tryout player to a key contributor for the Vikings? This is the kind of story that can ignite a fan base, and I can't wait to see how it unfolds. As we look to the future, let's keep our fingers crossed for Hill's health and performance at minicamp. The Vikings are in a unique position, and how they handle this situation could significantly impact their future. J.J. McCarthy recently took the podium for the first time since his season-ending meniscus injury, and now he positions himself as the presumed starting quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings. He exuded confidence, stating that he feels 110% and is ready to go. But does he really sound prepared? Or is there an underlying nervousness? Former NFL quarterback Chase Daniel seems to think so. He noted that McCarthy's demeanor appeared a bit rehearsed, almost as if he were trying to convince not just the media, but himself. It's natural to feel this way, especially for a rookie in the NFL. I mean, the pressure is intense and the spotlight is blinding. But let's take a step back for a moment. McCarthy is a young talent, drafted 10th overall in the 2024 NFL Draft. He was competing with Sam Darnold for that coveted starting position last season and made a strong impression during his preseason debut before the injury sidelined him. With Darnold now playing for the Seattle Seahawks and Daniel Jones signing with the Indianapolis Colts, McCarthy has a clear opportunity to lead this team. You can almost feel the excitement and anticipation in the air. Daniel made another intriguing point about the Vikings roster being elite. With a 14-3 record last season, expectations are sky high. The team has a solid foundation, but let's be honest, everything depends on the quarterback. McCarthy is stepping into a situation where he needs to perform under immense pressure. When the game is on the line and everyone in that huddle looks to him for direction, that's when the real test begins. It's a lot to take on for someone who hasn't had the chance to prove himself at this level. As passionate fans of the Minnesota Vikings, we need to ask ourselves, is this the right path? Are we ready to put the future of our team in the hands of a rookie quarterback, even one with potential like McCarthy? Honestly, I'm torn. The excitement is palpable, but so is the reality of the situation. This is the NFL, and it's a completely different beast. We've seen promising players crumble under pressure, and we've also seen them rise to the occasion. I think it's vital to give McCarthy the support he needs. He has all the tools to succeed, but confidence will be key. The way he connects with his teammates and how he handles the media are just parts of the puzzle. It's about building a relationship, not just with the players on the field, but also with the fans. If he can channel that energy and turn any nervousness into determination, we could have an exciting season ahead. So, I want to hear from you. What are your thoughts on McCarthy's press conference? Do you think he showed more confidence than nervousness? Or do you agree with Daniel that he seemed a bit green? And what about the direction of the team? Is McCarthy the right choice to lead us into the future? I want to hear your opinions below. This is a crucial moment for the Minnesota Vikings, and we need to come together in support of our young quarterback, no matter how uncertain we may feel. Let's give him the chance to grow and develop. Remember, the success of this franchise is not just about one player. It's about the entire organization coming together to achieve greatness. The Minnesota Vikings have certainly made some intriguing moves in the 2025 NFL Draft. And as a lifelong fan, I can't help but feel both excited and a bit apprehensive about the direction we're heading. General Manager Kwesi Adofo-Mensah had limited draft capital but somehow managed to turn 4 picks into 5. That's the kind of shrewdness we've come to expect from him. But the choice to focus heavily on the offensive side of the ball raises some questions. Selecting Ohio State's Donovan Jackson to bolster the offensive line is a smart move for protecting quarterback J.J. McCarthy. The Vikings have been known for their offensive prowess, and with Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison leading the charge, it makes sense to prioritize that area. But here's where it gets tricky. Trading back to grab Maryland wide receiver Ty Felton in the 3rd round, particularly with Addison's potential suspension looming over us, feels like a gamble. Don't get me wrong, I love the talent we're bringing in, but what about our glaring needs on defense? Boundary cornerback and safety positions were largely ignored during the draft, and that's a concern. We can't just rely on our high-octane offense to win games. We need a solid defense to back them up. This oversight might leave us vulnerable down the line, especially if we end up facing teams with potent offenses. Now, there's talk about dipping back into the free agency pool to fill those defensive gaps. Sterling G from Pro Football Network suggests that the Vikings might look to re-sign veteran cornerback Stephon Gilmore. At 35, Gilmore is no longer in his prime, but he's still performing at a level that makes him an enticing option. His experience and familiarity with Brian Flores from their time in New England could be invaluable. Do you think this was the best decision? Honestly, I'm torn. On one hand, having a veteran like Gilmore could stabilize our secondary, especially with so many unproven players like Isaiah Rodgers, Mickey Blackman, and Jeff Okudah. The last thing we need is a patchwork secondary trying to hold together against the elite receivers we'll face. On the other hand, relying on an aging player raises questions about his long-term viability. It's a balancing act that could very well determine our season. Flores seems to have big plans for Byron Murphy Jr., wanting to move him around to create mismatches, and that's a great strategy. But to implement it effectively, we need a solid supporting cast. Gilmore could provide that stability, and if we're also considering Shaq Griffin, we could see a more formidable defensive backfield emerge. As a fan, I can't help but dream of what this team could accomplish. The potential is there, but it all hinges on how well these strategic moves pan out. If Gilmore can mentor the younger guys and perform at a high level, we could be looking at a vastly improved defense. But if we miss the mark, it could spell trouble for us as we march into the season. I want to hear your thoughts on this. Are you as concerned about the defensive oversights as I am? Or do you believe in Adofo-Mensah's vision for this team? And you, what do you think? I want to hear your opinions down below. It's going to be a thrilling ride as we head deeper into the offseason. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe to stay updated on all things Minnesota Vikings. Don't forget to activate the notifications